السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمد عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد وصحبه وبارك وسلم وبعد. Respected elders, brothers, once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For today's proceedings before the Jummah khutbah and the Jummah salah, we have the pleasure and the honor of hosting the sons of the martyred journalist Samir Abu Daqqa, rahimahullah. So we have with us today Brother Yazan Abu Daqqa and Brother Zain Abu Daqqa, who will be sharing with us today, inshallah. Just to give some insight and background before I hand over to Brother Zain and to Brother Yazan, is that the late journalist Shaheed Samir Abu Daqqa, rahimahullah, was a journalist with Al Jazeera. He was a Palestinian from the city of Gaza, from Khan Yunus. He was born in Gaza. He studied journalism within Gaza, and he was very much involved in reporting on everything that we are seeing on the media concerning what is taking place in Palestine to our brothers and our sisters, brothers and sisters. He was a very, very brave journalist, and while covering the atrocities and the injustice and the oppression against the people of Palestine, he was made shaheed. The Israeli Defense Forces were attacking a school, the Haifa school, I believe, the Haifa school, and using the technology that they have available to them, they bombed the school using drone warfare, and in the process, Samir Abu Daqqa was made shaheed. So Yazan and Zain are visiting South Africa, and today, inshallah, they will be sharing with us a little bit about their father and the purposes of their visit, inshallah. It's very important that as the Ummah, we actually listen to our brothers and sisters from Palestine themselves, and our job is not to speak on behalf of them, because the Palestinians are very capable themselves of speaking about what is taking place in Palestine and the injustices that they are suffering and the oppression that they love, that they are living through. Very capable of speaking for themselves. So our responsibility is simply to provide platforms when available and to amplify their voices. So to kick off today's proceedings, inshallah, we'll start off with the tilawah of the Quran by Zain Abu Daqqa, and thereafter we'll follow on with an address by Brother Yazan Abu Daqqa. فليتفضل مشكور.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون فرحين بما آتاهم الله من فضله ويستبشرون بالذين لم يلحقوا بهم من خلفهم ألا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. صدق الله.
Sadaqallahu al-Azim. The ayah that was recited speaks about the condition of the martyrs, and those who strive in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and are made shaheed, who are killed in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that despite what they go through, they will enjoy the mercy and the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. Without further ado, I will hand over to Brother Yazan Abu Daqqa, who will address us, inshallah. Shukran.
والصلاة والسلام على أرسل المرسلين سيدنا محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام. إخوة الكرام, firstly I would like to thank you for inviting me and my brother Zain. My name is Jhetam Abu Daqqa and I am here with my brother Zain. We are the sons of martyr Samir Abu Daqqa, who was assassinated by opposition forces while he was working as a photographer for Al Jazeera. My dad used to document the people's suffering and the terrible conditions that Gaza are experiencing, to addition to starvation, bombing, and arrests. Since the Zionist opposition does not want the world to know about their crimes and want the world to believe that Palestinians are criminals and terrorists. They sentenced my dad in a very criminal way, so they are targeted him with a missile to his legs, kept him bleeding for 5 hours, then shot him, died. We are taking my father's case to ICG, so this criminal state has to pay for its crimes. From here I ask you to keep praying for all our martyrs and for Palestine, so we celebrate our freedom the same way you did. Jazakumullah, and may He accept your prayers. Last. Okay, that's it. خلاص.
Shukran Jazilan. We thank our respected brothers Yazan and Zain for sharing with us some of their experiences and words. Their purpose in South Africa, amongst many things, and Zain being gifted with a very, very beautiful voice, is to amplify the voice of Palestinians internationally, inshallah. We know that the struggle for Palestine has been enduring. The war in Gaza, this unjust war, has been going on for over 260 days, nearing 270 days of continuous, systematic, very planned military operations that are designed to produce only one result: either the annihilation of the Palestinian people in Gaza or the expulsion of the Palestinian people from the city of Gaza. The Israelis will settle for no less. That's why every peace deal, every ceasefire negotiation has been deliberately designed to fail, so as to provide basically a stalling process that will allow the Israeli Defense Force to continue to butcher and bludgeon the Palestinian people. Now, the people of Palestine, mashallah, are very resolute, and they have given the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam a practical demonstration in what it means to revive and revitalize a community on the basis of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. We see this practically. How many times have we seen video material on social media when Palestinians have lost every single thing, the lives of their near and dear ones, their homes, all of their possessions, and all that they say is Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient for us. When they hear of people being martyred, they pray for them immediately. And in some cases, you even see people celebrating, saying that the martyrs, the shuhada, they are already in the gardens of Jannah. Subhanallah. How do we create a society like this? The secret that we see in Gaza is those circles of Quran that take place in the mosques like this, where people are reading the Quran, memorizing the Quran, but more so they are pondering over the meaning and the message of the Quran, and really giving the Quran its due. And what happens in the process is that we see an Islamic worldview emerging. That means the lens that they are using to look at the world and everything that happens around us, not just old historical happenings, things that took place thousands of years ago when we read in history books, but even what is taking place now, to look at it from the lens of the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The two twin sources of Islamic legislation of the Sharia, the Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are inseparable. We cannot understand the Quran without the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We will never understand the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam without the Quran. The two go together. The one is a translation of the other. The Sunnah is a loving, walking, breathing translation of the Quran that is the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As such, it is important then that while our brothers and sisters in Palestine are practically demonstrating to us what it means to uphold the kalima of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah in the most dire circumstances, we too must come to the party. The Muslim community is very generous. The Muslim community has a sense of brotherhood that stretches across countries, age groups, demographics, different ethnicities, and so forth. MashaAllah. And we are a very generous community. That's why whenever something is happening to our brothers and sisters in any part of the world, Muslims would be the first to assist, inshallah, to be on the right side of history, contributing in terms of financial aid, whether it be for humanitarian relief, medical expenses, so many things. The Muslim community is at the forefront of, alhamdulillah. But what's becoming more and more apparent in Palestine, as we are seeing the destruction of the community, and we are seeing tens and thousands of people being slaughtered and slain, and the Israelis do not stop there. As we are seeing all of that, the Israelis are very much intent on destroying institutions. One physical building, such as schools, universities, hospitals, clinics, libraries, physical institutions of a society, they are very much intent on doing that. But there's another institution that the Israelis are very much intent on destroying, and that is the human institution. That is people such as Shaheed Samir Abu Daqqa, people who were speaking to the world, telling the truth of what they had seen, with no fear, no favor, no biases, just reporting. And those reports, all of us consume. So this year, the killing of one journalist, 10 journalists, 300 journalists, these are not isolated incidents. They are all part of an interconnected web, and they're all part of a larger grand strategy. So anyone who stands up against the Israeli Zionist machine and speaks the truth, that person is in mortal danger. And realistically speaking, Israeli intelligence services have a list of journalists that they monitor, and they have another list of journalists that they intend on killing. And Allah knows where the late brother Samir Abu Daqqa stood. Was he on the list of journalists who were just being monitored, or was he on the red list of journalists who will be executed by the Israeli state? But whatever it may be, he was speaking the truth, and him, like many others, essentially then were martyred simply because of speaking that truth. Our job then as Muslims would be to amplify their voices, to amplify the voices of our Palestinian brothers and sisters. Our country went through a period of elections, and I won't labor any longer. The time now is for active citizenship. But as Muslims, we know that our way of life is not constrained to just the borders of this country. We need to be global citizens. So on the one hand, supporting our Palestinian brothers and sisters, our brothers and sisters in Sudan, in China, and in so many other places, there is part and parcel of our active citizenship, al-muwatana, as we say in Arabic. But at the same time, we must be involved in local issues. So with that spirit, brothers, what I would like to just turn our attention to, going forward, as the GNU will be ratified hopefully very, very shortly after the politicians have negotiated their respective shares of government. After doing so, we have to seriously consider what will be our contribution to this country and our larger contribution to the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And our job then is to support and to amplify the voices of people like Yazin, of Zayn, and so many others, doing so in this country that we have been blessed with the aim and objective of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa akhir da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Shukran jazeelan.
Brother, let's stand up before we start our sunnah, inshallah.
Can we read سورة الفاتحة على روح الشهيد سامع الدقة؟ مداد.